The movie opens in Indianapolis with 16-year-old Hazel Grace Lancaster lying in bed, staring at the ceiling while struggling with depression and exhaustion. Hazel has thyroid cancer that spread to her lungs, forcing her to carry an oxygen tank everywhere she goes. Her mother constantly worries about her because Hazel rarely leaves the house. One day, Hazel's mother tells her she's becoming isolated and needs to interact with other people. Even though Hazel hates the idea, she agrees to attend a cancer support group held in the basement of a church. The support group is led by a cheerful man named Patrick, who constantly talks about positivity and finding meaning in suffering. Hazel clearly dislikes being there. The teenagers sit in a circle, introducing themselves and discussing their illnesses. That is when Hazel notices a boy staring directly at her. The boy introduces himself as Augustus Waters. Augustus is charming, confident, and funny. He explains that he lost part of his leg to osteosarcoma, but is currently cancer-free. Throughout the meeting, Augustus keeps looking at Hazel, making her uncomfortable. After the session ends, Augustus walks up to Hazel and immediately starts flirting with her. Hazel tries to ignore him, but Augustus's confidence and humor slowly break through her defenses. He invites Hazel to his house to watch a movie. Hazel reluctantly agrees. On the drive there, Augustus places an unlit cigarette between his lips. Hazel becomes annoyed, assuming he smokes, but Augustus explains that he never lights the cigarette. According to him, he puts the killing thing between his teeth, but never gives it the power to kill him. Hazel finds the explanation ridiculous, but secretly interesting. At Augustus's house, Hazel meets his loving parents. They embarrass Augustus by being overly friendly and excited. Hazel notices how warm and lively the household feels. The two teenagers spend time talking in Augustus's room. They discuss books, fears, and the idea of oblivion. Hazel admits she is terrified of hurting the people she loves when she eventually dies. She describes herself as a grenade that will explode and destroy everyone around her. Augustus listens carefully. Hazel tells him about her favorite novel, An Imperial Affliction, written by Peter Van Houten. The book follows a girl with cancer and ends abruptly in the middle of a sentence. Hazel is obsessed with the unfinished ending because she desperately wants to know what happens to the characters. Augustus becomes fascinated by Hazel and decides to read the book. Before Hazel leaves, Augustus gives her a copy of his favorite novel in exchange. Soon after, Augustus finishes An Imperial Affliction. He calls Hazel in the middle of the night, emotionally overwhelmed by the book. The next day, the two begin spending more and more time together. Their friendship quickly grows deeper. Hazel introduces Augustus to her close friend, Isaac, who is slowly losing his eyesight due to cancer. Isaac is dating a girl named Monica. While hanging out together, the three teenagers joke around and try to enjoy life despite their illnesses. Hazel and Augustus continue discussing literature and philosophy. They grow emotionally attached to each other. One day, Hazel reveals that she's tried contacting Peter Van Houten multiple times to ask about the ending of his novel, but she never received a response. Augustus secretly reaches out to Van Houten through his assistant, Lidoich. To Hazel's shock, Van Houten responds. However, he refuses to answer Hazel's questions through email. Instead, he invites them to Amsterdam to discuss the novel in person. Hazel is stunned. Traveling is difficult because of her illness and oxygen dependence. Her parents initially hesitate. During this time, Isaac receives devastating news. Doctors must remove his remaining eye, leaving him completely blind. Isaac falls apart emotionally. Things become even worse when Monica breaks up with him before the surgery because she says she cannot handle dating a blind person. Isaac becomes heartbroken and furious. Hazel and Augustus visit him after the surgery. Isaac rages about Monica abandoning him. To help him vent his anger, Augustus encourages Isaac to smash trophies in his room. The scene becomes both emotional and strangely funny as the friends destroy objects together. Meanwhile, Hazel suffers a severe medical emergency. One night, she struggles to breathe properly. Her lungs fill with fluid. Her parents rush her to the hospital. Doctors desperately try to stabilize her. Hazel nearly dies. The terrifying experience reminds everyone how fragile her condition truly is. After spending time in intensive care, Hazel slowly recovers. The doctors explain that traveling to Amsterdam could be extremely dangerous. Hazel becomes devastated because the trip might be canceled. However, her doctor eventually approves the journey. Hazel is overwhelmed with happiness. Before the trip, Hazel and Augustus grow even closer. Their romantic tension becomes impossible to ignore. Finally, Hazel and her mother fly to Amsterdam. At the airport, Augustus surprises Hazel there too. The trip immediately feels magical. When they arrive in Amsterdam, they stay in a beautiful hotel. The hotel staff treats them kindly because they know Augustus used his cancer wish to fund the trip. Hazel and Augustus end time exploring the city. They walk along canals, admire the scenery, and enjoy feeling normal for once. One evening, Augustus takes Hazel to a fancy restaurant. The restaurant overlooks the water and feels incredibly romantic. During dinner, Augustus confesses that he is in love with her. Hazel becomes emotional. Although she deeply cares about Augustus, she is terrified of causing him pain. Still, the connection between them becomes undeniable. The restaurant staff even gives them champagne and praises them as young lovers. The next day, Hazel and Augustus finally meet Peter Van Houten. But the encounter becomes a disaster. Instead of the wise and thoughtful writer Hazel imagined, Van Houten turns out to be bitter, cruel, and drunk. He insults Hazel and Augustus repeatedly. He refuses to answer Hazel's questions about the novel. Instead, he mocks her obsession with fictional endings. Hazel feels crushed. Augustus becomes furious. Van Houten's assistant, Lydwig, is embarrassed by his behavior. She apologizes to Hazel and Augustus afterward. Hazel leaves heartbroken because the author she admired turned out to be deeply disappointing. To cheer Hazel up, Hazel and Augustus visit the Anne Frank house. Hazel struggles physically climbing the stairs because of her oxygen tank and weak lungs, but Augustus helps her continue. Inside the museum, Hazel reflects on Anne Frank's life and suffering. The emotional experience brings Hazel and Augustus even closer. At the top of the building, they kiss for the first time. The people around them clap. The moment feels beautiful and hopeful. Later that night, Hazel and Augustus sleep together. The scene is emotional, tender, and awkward in a realistic way. For a brief moment, both teenagers forget about cancer and simply experience young love. The next morning, everything changes. Augustus reveals devastating news. Before the trip, he learned that his cancer has returned. This time, it is spread throughout his body. The disease is terminal. Hazel is completely shattered. Augustus admits he wanted the Amsterdam trip to remain joyful before revealing the truth. After returning home, Augustus's condition rapidly worsens. The once energetic and confident boy slowly becomes physically weak. Now Hazel becomes the caregiver instead of the patient. She supports Augustus through treatments, hospital visits, and emotional breakdowns. The disease humiliates Augustus. He struggles with losing control of his body. One night, Augustus calls Hazel and Isaac in panic. They rush to a gas station where Augustus has become trapped. He attempted to buy cigarettes himself, but became too weak to function. Hazel and Isaac help him. The scene is painful because Augustus feels embarrassed and helpless. He breaks down, crying, admitting he fears being forgotten. Hazel comforts him. As Augustus grows weaker, he organizes a pre-funeral. He invites Hazel and Isaac to give eulogies while he is still alive. The scene becomes one of the emotional peaks of the movie. Isaac delivers a heartfelt speech describing Augustus as a loyal friend. Then, Hazel speaks. Through tears, she explains how Augustus gave her an infinite forever within their limited days together. She says she loves him deeply and feels grateful for every moment they shared. Augustus listens emotionally. Shortly afterward, Augustus dies. Hazel becomes devastated. At the funeral, Peter Van Houten unexpectedly appears. Hazel is angry and confused. Van Houten explains that Augustus had been communicating with him before his death. He reveals that Augustus asked him to help write something for Hazel. However, Hazel still refuses to forgive Van Houten for his cruelty. After the funeral, Hazel struggles with grief. Everything reminds her of Augustus. She feels empty without him. Eventually, Isaac tells Hazel that Augustus wrote something for her. Hazel discovers a letter Augustus sent to Van Houten before dying. In the letter, Augustus talks about love, pain, and meaning. He explains that people cannot avoid suffering. They can only choose who they allow to hurt them, and he says he is happy with his choice. The letter deeply moves Hazel. As Hazel reads Augustus's words, she finally finds peace. She lies on the grass, staring up at the sky, remembering him. In her mind, Augustus asks if she accepts their story. Hazel smiles through tears and says, "I do." The movie ends with Hazel looking at the stars, carrying both grief and love in her heart. Even though their time together was short, Augustus changed her life forever. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and press the notification bell for more movie recap.